This session is called Missional Discipleship. Talking a lot about living on mission and being missional Christians, but we also must remember that the ultimate goal is to become like Jesus and to live like Jesus. Okay, there's a growing and maturing that's expected in the discipleship process of making disciples who mature to make more disciples. So again, what do we learn from Jesus? What did his discipleship look like of his disciples? What's he expect from us in our small groups and our churches? So what do I mean by missional discipleship? Okay, couple important things. Okay, one, again, the process is a supernatural process. It's not something we ultimately control. There are some things we need to do to be faithful and obedient, and we need to practice, but it's a supernatural process that needs the Spirit involved in changing people's hearts and convicting and reminding and encouraging and teaching and doing all the things that the Bible tells us that the Spirit does, okay? So prayer and the supernatural is a big part of this missional discipleship. What else? I've already talked about this idea of identity. Rooting people in their identity is a big part of it, of helping people mature in living their day and their daily lives more and more, increasingly, out of their identity, not from some false place, okay? So prayer is important, identity is important. Community, I already talked about the importance of us being part of a family, okay? Discipleship is not a one-on-one thing. We don't see that with Jesus, we don't see that really in the New Testament. Discipleship, healthy discipleship, is meant to be a community project. It's a community of people shaping each other, influencing each other to become more and more like Jesus, to live more and more according to his priorities, okay? So we need to be part of a community that's living like family, that is influencing each other, teaching each other, encouraging each other, challenging each other, modeling for each other. That's the next big point I wanted to highlight, is that so much of discipleship is not taught but caught. It's not information, but it's experience. We need to see what it looks like to love people and serve people and sacrifice for people and speak truth to people and encourage people and extend grace to people and forgive people. It needs to be modeled in a community, but then also needs to be experienced. So we need to do a bit of teaching about it, okay? Show people how it's rooted in Scripture and in the Gospels, but it's got to be modeled for them, and then they've got to taste it. They've got to experience what it looks like to do the things Jesus did, okay? Again, to love and to serve and to sacrifice and extend grace and forgive and all those things. So you can see, if we're going to make disciples in this way, it's going to take time. If you're part of a small group that only meets 2 hours a week, I just need to say, it's not enough. You're not going to make disciples, mature disciples, multiplying disciples 2 hours a week. It's not possible. It's going to require more time, experiencing more life together in a variety of contexts where life with Jesus can be modeled and experienced. So it's just going to require more time. And then I called this missional discipleship because it has to happen in the context of mission, of course. It's got to be out as we're loving lost people and serving lost people and getting to know people that are hard to love, honestly, that are different than us, believe different things, live different ways. It's in those contexts that we learn so much. We learn to love by loving hard to love people. So missional discipleship happens in the context of mission. Again, Jesus, 80% of his time was in the context of mission. He was with his disciples, with lost people, 80% of the time. So we need to be with our disciples and with our small groups much more than we currently are, okay? So with your small group, discuss it, pray about it, make a plan.